Hello and welcome to the 116th episode of Rambling Weekly. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. I'm doing all right. I'm doing fine. Yeah, it is. It's been one of those kind of weekends where it's like, oh great, I have to spend money on things that I need to, but it'd be nice not to. Nothing too major, but there's more of the wonderful car things having to deal with. Um, it's actually why my reading for Sager's Calling usually is on Saturdays. I'm actually going to be doing it here in a couple hours. So lots of talking today. So by the end of today, my voice will be craggly and gone. Uh, I oh I No, but I had to get oil change and whatnot, and I don't feel like doing it myself. So, coupled with that, it's like, oh, you got a. It sounds like you got a wheelbarrow bearing going out. So it's like, oh, lovely. So another expense to save up and take care of in the near future. So, but it's good that uh, they heard it and. I can start making appropriate plans for it. So that's how it goes sometimes. Other than that, what has been on the docket? Oh, been working. Work has been not terrible. We'll see how next week goes. It might be a little bit worse this coming week, just because one of them's out. So it'll be possibly a little bit more. I mean, last week it wasn't too bad, but who knows? And then I've played a little bit. I was kind of intending to I don't know, continue with some more Resident Evil stuff. I ended up actually getting that Resident Evil 4 remake with intentions to play that, but I've been like, we'll give it a moment. I have bought it, but just push to something else, and I've played a little bit, and I don't know if I'm going to continue it, but I'd like to. Valkyria Chronicles, the first one. I haven't played it at all in like a good deal of time, and it's been about 4 years or so since I played the fourth one. I don't like the second one. Part of it's the setting. It's just like a military academy thing, so I'm already less interested in it, but and this goes for the third one as well. The concept, like the first and fourth game, are really great because they should remake 2 and 3 to follow suit, which I get would yeah, you're taking a lot of resources and having to change things. But 2 and 3's problem was being on the PSP. You had a really cool, neat idea that you can't you like because I like that style of game. But boy, there's not a ton of them that I'm aware of, and also the the oh the fantastical World War II environment for that setting. You can only do so much, at least in what you got. So unless you decide to branch off or continue it, or do a prequel with like Wilkins' dad or something, you don't really have a lot of um, places to draw from. So anyways, 2 and 3, the problem was they were on the PSP, and what ended up happening with that is that you'd have a lot of segmented maps, so you'd have very small areas, and then you would be bouncing to a next area, bouncing to a next area, and I don't know, I did not like it, and it, coupled with the military academy setting, and I was like, okay, this is not for me. Like, this is not something I'm interested in. So I was like, okay, we're done. And and then I picked up 4 because I'd heard 4 was actually a return to the style, and I really liked 4 as well. I thought 4 was enjoyable. I thought it was fun, and so playing a little bit of 1. I like the music a lot. I think it the main melody, main theme is a really good one. And Sakimoto's work is a little not that it's hit or miss, because a lot of time, not always, but a lot of it, is geared toward strat RPGs and stuff. You get with tactics. Not always. I mean, you get into Final Fantasy 12. I think he did that, and here and there. But it just seems it's a lot. How to put it? Yes, that is how it goes. Not like grandiose, but because it's a lot more orchestral and stuff, it you can maybe keep with the main melody thing for it, but a lot of the music just sort of washes over you. Not necessarily like a bad way or anything. It's just it's good listening, and So, what is going on? Why is my phone going off at this early? Who is texting me at 8:10 in the morning? My bank is to tell me they've taken money out. How lovely. Oh boy. But yeah, so that been good this week about writing. I don't know where my stuff is. Where is that? It's probably over there. But I've been good with writing. This week I've gotten a couple instances in, so I've been happy with that. I'm about done with the notepad that I'm on, so I'm about to get pushing to the second notepad. So I'm excited for that. So it is slowly coming along. Woo. But I got that. Anything else going on? I think I might have mentioned it, but if not, tentatively I've been shifting to having tabletop stuff every week on Thursdays, and we haven't quite been able to do it just yet, just because it's like one of those things where it's like, hey, let's tentatively do it, but if we can't do it, it's okay, but we'll just keep on, instead of doing it, have it set to bi-weekly. Because sometimes what happens is we'll have for bi-weekly and then try to push it to next week, but then miss 2, so it's like we could go like a whole month without going. So this way we can maybe sneak one in. Maybe we wouldn't have been able to get one on the second, third, or fourth week, but we could have gotten one on that first following week, so it could have truncated it by a week for whatever. Anyways, but they were very, very involved. They also decided to so we were playing Dragonbane, which is like an old style of it's based upon like old style D&D rules and stuff, and you can die in that game very easily, and I'm trying to balance it to not be like, oh, here's an easy death kind of thing, but like I've been looking into some of these rules to figure out stuff. So like the potency of, there's like a potency for like lethal poisons and paralyzing poisons and sleeping poisons kind of thing, and like there's a different like potency level and how that works. You can like shove people and how the rules for that work, and grappling and all this sort of stuff. And just kind of figure it out so that I can show them this, and they can hopefully learn those rules and be like, oh, okay. Because that's part of the thing too, right? Is like how much, like how they don't come across as people who are really like hell-bent on trying to be like, oh, I gotta know all of the rules so I can just be like, oh, they're fine with like, oh, I know a little bit, I can kind of understand it, tell me what it is. So in some ways it's nice because then like for me at least it's more retainable if I demonstrate it than just kind of reading it and regurgitating it. So when they are able to see what they can do, and then they do it, they become a little bit more inclined to. Anyways, the idea was to show them that fall damage was a thing, and that fall damage is it can be done through. And they're aware of fall damage, but I don't think they're aware of fall damage coming from, like, there's two different ways you can actually go about it when in a battle, other than just knocking somebody off. Like, say, oh, there's a griffin, and it picks you up, and it drops you. Or there's a, I don't think of, like, Avatar Airbender with, like, ground bending. You can make like little stone pillars and shields for yourself, and if you do that underneath somebody, they have to roll to stay on it, or if they fall, they take damage that way. And it can be pretty bad real quick, and I wanted to show that because it goes through armor, and there's one who's the tank who needs to be very cognizant of that thing. But anyways, they avoided that fight. Which I was like, okay, you run into something, you're like, I don't think we should do this. Let's try to skedaddle. And then they skedaddled. So, and then they met with some fishermen, a couple families of fishermen, and they are going to a foggy atoll, or because they're actually like in the game, it's like in like the beginnings of winter and stuff, so there's that. So they have some foggy fun times ahead and stuff, and with like, because we play it online, we can actually have like little fog settings, so they have to like look at the image and stuff, but you can set it up to be like, oh, well, you can only see so far, and you can't see beyond your vision and stuff like that. So I'm excited to have them get into a fight and deal with all that sort of all that trouble. Fog of War, isn't that exciting? I know I hated it, and I hate that in Fire Emblem, but I hate it in the sense that, and I don't, for me, I think it's a little bit, because I think I can see all of it, but I don't know if probably, I mean, it wouldn't matter, because I know that, like, me being able to see all of it is a little, that makes it a little more unfair on my side, so that's something I've got to keep in mind, but, yeah. It'll be. I will enjoy it. And they won't. I don't know. They've said that they've liked the fights that I've put together for them, and they've been more whatchamacallit, not ball busting, but just you gotta. I'm trying to have them be like, okay, you guys need to use your abilities, because if you don't use your abilities that I've given you, things are gonna get really hard really quick for you. So I think they've gotten better about using their abilities. So, which is nice, because then I can start to try some other things, so it can be a little bit more, I don't know, I don't say difficult, but difficult. I like the trying to, because that's the other thing too, right? I could make something really, really difficult and then see that, you know, they know that they can run away if it comes down to it, but they could see that if things are going bad, they can do that. But if I'm like, well, if they want to like still progress, maybe I can kind of fudge things a little bit. I try not to. I've actually been pretty good about not fudging things, so that's been nice, because then it's like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, because you're trying to fudge it a little bit. You're like, but if you do it in a way that nobody notices, that's that's how you do it. Da da da. Yeah. So that is what I've been. That's what's been going on this past week. So now for the topic at hand, the balancing act. I had a bunch of different ideas for stuff I wanted to talk about, but my brain's like, I don't want to do that. And I'm like, okay, well, we're not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to talk about pretty much kind of like the seeming lethargy that comes to the channel. Part of it, so, you know, everybody's got their own life stuff going on, right? So, you know, this is not to say mine is much busier, much more busier, much more involved or whatnot. It's more of just to say, it's like, you know, this is something I kind of just do for cathartic purposes, I guess, maybe, possibly. Is it cathartic to have headaches of video, or dealing with tightness of recording footage? I don't know. Well, I mean by that more than anything is like the choice of materials and stuff. Like, oh hey, I want to do this, so I do this. But it's more of like right now I'm kind of at a crossroads. I don't know what kind of video I want to do next. Like I have different art books and stuff that I kind of wanted to talk about, but then I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. And then there's the stuff I've got to finish up with genealogy, with putting together odds and ends, and I still haven't even worked on that, truthfully, which annoys me, but it's kind of like, I've written down what I want to do to kind of connect the pieces and stuff, but I need to put effort into getting onto that. So there's that. There's I want to do at some point a video on Lufia 3. Lufia, The Legend Returns, because that game series is never returning. Thank you, remake of 2 for whatever reason. So sad. Anyway, I want to do that. I have like some other one, but I just can't really decide on what I want to do, right? And part of that's because it's just like, you know, I'm just doing it for fun. So the guidance factor really isn't there. But in the same hand, I don't want to just like drop it off. I mean, I still got to do the Mossflower book thing, that book review that I was so cheeky about talking about, and then I have not. Like, heck, I haven't even been able to read much the last month and a half. That's more on me than anything, but it's just kind of the annoyance of the balancing act. And sure, you can kind of, you know, square off time and stuff, and I think that does work for me, but I know A, it doesn't work for everybody. B, it doesn't even work for me all the time, because there's just times where I'm just like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to. And that is that. So that makes it a bit troublesome. Because then, and that happens with, rambling, and stuff as well, because it's like, I've got a bunch of different topic ideas, but then it's like, I look at them and it's like, I don't want to. And it's, or which part of it'll be, I don't even think about it, and then all of a sudden Friday or Saturday rolls around, and I'm like, and then I don't want to. I don't want to. Oh, gracious. Knocking stuff over. This is such a mess. It is such a cluster over here. Come on, get back in there. Plug in. Oh, for Pete's sakes. Anyway, we might have to do this later. Oh boy. Okay, yeah, fine. Okay. Didn't need you plugged in anyways. That's the balancing act of, because you got, I do, work, then trying to do whatever else, any other obligations you got, and there's the whole writing thing, and then there's the whole writing for videos thing, and then there's the whole keeping up with the DM stuff, because that's a responsibility of mine, right? I can't just be like, oh, we'll just wing it. That does not work in tabletop so well. When you're on the other side of things, I think that because that does a disservice to those playing, and then it also, because then you're stopping going, because it's the other thing too, right? Because playing it, we only play for, at most 2 hours or so, which is really, really short. But when that's, we're playing on a Thursday night with us still all working, it is not something you can easily just I got you plugged in, easily just shift gears and be like, okay, we're gonna do this instead. So if I wasn't playing anything and we were to try to play something, but we only have, say, like an hour and a half, 2 hours, we've really truncated it, because now I'm having to look up things. I'm now having to take time to be like, well, let me think about this. And it's one thing to, think a moment or two about it, but it would be constantly, because I don't think well enough on my feet to just to put together a whole bunch of nonsense and then retain that nonsense. So it's one of those things that just makes it a bit difficult, because then it's, not to say that you should do things for the other people, or whatnot, or like to if you're going in for those intentions for something, like say you're like, for me, I just write because it's cathartic and I just want to get the story out of my noggin, kind of thing. So I'm not sitting there going, how can I make the monies? I really don't care. Would it be nice? Certainly, but I'm not gonna sit there and be like, yes, money. That's about as, that's not quite Mr. Krabs, but that's my variation. but if you're going in for those intentions, then you got to put in the kind of thing to see what are the trends, what are people liking, blah 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 blah. If that's what you're gonna do, okay, go with God, do that sort of thing. I don't like it just because, like, a lot of the trends for stuff that I see, I'm just like, it's not really my jive. So I I know my writing style isn't for everybody, and nor is it gonna really do anything for people. For some people, at least. Probably a lot of people. I don't know. But uh, so what I'm getting at is that the levers of which move and push me to do things, they're not quite there. So for writing, it is the internal combustion of wanting to do that. The tabletop stuff is because I have other people who I'm responsible for to help ensure a fun little evening and getting together and stuff. So sure, getting together is one thing because we play online, and like outside of a couple of us, like I live on one end, and then another person lives on another end, and another person lives in between. Graham, who was on the couple episodes ago, he lives between the we're kind of close but still hours apart, and then there's the other one that's the other two who are far apart from us, so it's not like we can just get together and do it in person. So it's just just a fun little time, but I'm responsible for putting that game stuff together to ensure that at least on that side of things it'd be fun. So we have that the YouTube thing. What is the obligation? People subscribe and they expect videos at some point, I guess. But it feels like that's really, there's not really, I don't know how to put it, because I don't get a lot of comments. So it's kind of like, I don't know. How do you balance that sort of thing to be like, because it's like, I do get comments from people in person, so it's not like I'm not getting any sort of feedback or anything like that, but it's more of like how do you balance the, like, to me, because it's a little bit more of a one-way street. It's hard to gauge, like, oh, hey, it could be because there's such a long breadth of time where I didn't do anything, or it started and stopped so much over the years that people were just like, whatever. I don't know. I basically have treated it as just something I do for fun, and people can pop in and out, and if they enjoy it, cool. If not, well, sorry. Sorry you did not enjoy it. So that kind of falls a little bit on the priority for me, right? So it's hard to just be like, yes, let's shift this to the top of the rankings to get stuff done. When there is that feeling for it, it is in one hand it's unfortunate, because it would be nice to be regular with getting stuff out there, and I think I've been pretty regular with the ramblings, but it took a long time getting there. And then what am I thinking? Work is kind of important. I do need that financial scaffolding to be able to do anything. Kind of need that to pay bills. So, and for me, that's important because it's, I don't know. So if I could, say for example, shift out of doing that work and get money through writing books or something, it'd be one thing, but I don't know if that would be better for me or not, just because of how I am. But maybe I've got the wrong sense of it. Maybe I could replace what I do for work, like that work ethic and stuff there, because it may not seem like it because of the YouTube and the that, or because of the sloppiness, we'll say, of some of the stuff in the books and whatnot. But I'm a pretty on point person with work. Like I get there early, I get there promptly, I do my thing. I'm pretty, you know, I'm a very different mindset when I'm at work. So I I don't know if that would translate over into the other stuff, if somehow to be in that position to do that, but yeah. So for right now, though, work is kind of taking up a big chunk of that, and yeah. I don't know of any other. Well, that's not even including just the fun, stupid stuff I want to do, like, you know, either going traveling somewhere, or playing Valkyria Chronicles, or you know, or something, or what have you. I don't reading books, because I can't really listen to it. I don't really like listening to audiobooks. I need to sit there and read the thing, because audiobooks just don't do it for me. Surprise, I guess. maybe not. I don't know. But it's all, yeah. That's the fun of or like one of the fun things of living, right? Is doing that balancing act, and then determining the things that, okay, I find this more important to me, because as time goes on, the writing certainly has galvanized in a maybe not necessarily entirely different reasons, but some of it has coalesced towards just wanting to get it done. Plus, especially with Sageras, it's like a 3-part thing, so it's like I don't want to leave it hanging, kind of thing. So it's like yes, get it done. So but that's really all I got. I don't have any I don't have anything to be like, yes. Yeah, I just want to, I guess, talk about the wonderful balancing act. And like I said before, it's not like anybody else or everybody else doesn't have their own sort of thing. Everybody has their balancing act and how they're going about doing it. Even the ones who isolate themselves and choose to just entertain themselves through taking in tons of media, movies, TV shows, YouTube, etc. There is a, you've prioritized that sort of isolation for whatever reason, and yes. So just talking a lot of spinning plates. There's a bunch of different ideas I have for it until it. It's not like they're super amazing videos or anything, but that's just kind of how I flow with the sort of thing. That's why there'll be something, and then there won't be something for a while. That's, I haven't mentioned just fiddling and farting around with the keyboard or something. I actually maybe in a couple months maybe in like a month or two might be picking up doing piano lessons and stuff. So depending. Because I had messaged them near the end of last year, and they were like, "Well, right now we're swamped and we're packed. We'll reach out to you in the middle of next year." I was like, "Okay." So we will see how that goes. But yeah, that is. Yeah, so that's kind of what I got. I'm actually excited if I'm able to sneak in there, hopefully during like a weekend or something. Theoretically could do weekday, but I'd rather not, just because of the nature of my work. There's always that opportunity that I don't get back in time for something, or it's like, oh, you've had a really, really strenuous day, and then you go into the lesson and blah. My brain don't function. So after all, it is very smooth. Yeah, so that's what I got. It's So thanks for watching. Enjoy your day, weekday, weekend, weeknight, and everything in between. Um, yeah, and we're gonna play out to the main theme from Valkyria Chronicles because it's a good melody, it's a good song. Um, so yeah, play out to that. So thanks for watching, listening, all that sort of fun jazz, and I'll catch you next week. Toodles.